Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad. Your mom and dad.
Well, welcome home, family. It's your mom and dad. Welcome. Hello. Here's the thing, family. If you're into the YouTube of it all, you might be wondering, why are Evan and Jess, why are my parents sitting here with, I don't know, sorcerer, warlock hoods on? Are they asking us to join some sort of weird thing they're now participating in?
This is the beginning of our MLM.
Yeah.
And for $9.99 a month.
Please sit and come and join with us. Evan, he's a mind surgeon, he's starting that whole thing.
Exactly.
No, here's the fact of the matter. Today's going to be a little different, family, because truthfully, I have been keeping a secret from you all for about a week.
It's been bad a long time now.
For a week from the family. And the secret is, a week ago, the YouTube gods, the algorithm of YouTube, played a video after, I don't even know what I was watching on YouTube. And what pops up is a Dungeons and Dragons, like participating, it's Dimension 20, I think it's called, a Dungeons and Dragons game. Now, I have never played Dungeons and Dragons in my life. I always have heard about it. Obviously, it's, we live in the world. We've heard about Dungeons and Dragons, but I've never played it. Evan's never played it before. I started watching this, and when I tell you I got hooked, I started it because of the YouTube algorithm.
Yes.
And in the past week, I have watched an ungodly amount of D&D.
It's been like I walk in 5 hours later and it's still on. And I'm just like, are you okay? And she's like, shut up.
And I'm sending Evan photos of myself crying, like pure emotion, watching these stories unravel. I'm like, how have I been missing out? How am I 35 and I didn't know anything about this, and I've been missing out on this true joy in my life? And now I want to get into it, and I want Evan to get into it, and I want the family to get into it. So I randomly asked Lee, I was like, Lee, I think you said you've played Dungeons and Dragons before too. You said yes. It's been a hot minute you've been playing, right?
Yeah.
For a while. How many years?
It's been, I started in 2018 with Grayston, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Ricardo Falone, the bard. Shout out.
Shout out.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to need to message Grayston and be like, Gray.
It's been 6 years, man.
6 years.
Okay. 6 years of D&D. And I want now the family to participate. So guess what, fam? We're trying D&D today. Mom and Dad, I don't know how to play. I've been watching these videos for a week, so I guess I kind of have an idea, but I don't really quite follow everything. And Evan really doesn't know how to play at all.
Zero. Like I've seen 5 minutes of her video that you've been watching. So
Yes.
I'm complete newbie to this. But I'm open. And I am just so ready to just experience my childhood again and to find my inner child.
That's
to be
what I was
honest
going
with
to say.
you.
I'm like, I feel like when I've been watching this, I'm like, you can do anything with this. Like, I feel like my youth, like little Jessica
It's
is like
keeping the
coming out
youth
to
alive.
play. Yeah, I want
Yes.
to like play now all the time. So here's the deal. First of all, again, I would tune into the YouTube for this one as we play together. Lee will be playing with us. Evan and I will be playing. But we had to bring in a dungeon master, a DM.
Actual experienced
King,
close friend of mine.
That's the thing. I'm like, one of our besties, we had heard him talk about D&D and how he plays on the reg, but I had no idea that on a weekly basis, he was the dungeon master for these games. We
Yes.
just found this out. So please welcome our friend Bryan Sammis.
And Brian would me and Brian worked together. The way we became friends was through music and working together in music. And so he would always be able to do these incredible voices, and we'd always talk about Dungeons and Dragons. And
Hold on, don't build it up as incredible.
Hold on, no. But I'm just saying, like, he always talked about, and I didn't even know what Dungeons and Dragons was. I honestly thought it was a video game. And I was like, oh, you're playing a video game. That's cool,
Yeah,
whatever.
that's kind of what I thought too. I had no idea.
And then the more he would talk about it, or like I'd hear about it, and I'm like, okay, wait, this is like you're playing with people? Is it a board game? Well, not really. It's like this whole thing. So Jess falling in love with this, the fact that one of my besties is like a master at it, is like, okay, it was only a matter of time before the worlds combined and we had to do this.
So we called Bryan and we're like, could you be our DM? And you're like, yeah.
I'll bring my wizard bonnet.
I was going to say, so Brian's wearing his wizard cap, which the headphones now are giving you kind of an 1800s bonnet situation.
I'm going to lean into it, I think. Yeah.
You're like a super insecure wizard.
But it was so crazy how it worked out. So, okay, you've been DMing for a hot minute.
Yeah. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons since high school, maybe late middle school.
Okay.
Back in like 3rd edition, and then playing something called Pathfinder, which is an equivalent to D&D. They're all under the umbrella of tabletop role-playing games. Yeah, been playing for a very long time. Been DMing for the same group now for over 2 years. Yeah, we play every single Tuesday for 4 hours.
Wow.
So sick.
And it's been the same. Okay, so you called it a campaign.
Yes.
Is that the D&D word for like a story or like a okay? And so you guys, the campaign that you've been DMing for has been going on for the 2 years.
Yeah,
the same story.
We actually took a break. We found a natural ending to the story that everybody felt happy with, and we had a big in-person moment because we normally do it over Zoom.
Did you guys cry?
I didn't cry. I think a couple guys said that there was some emotional moments
Tearing up.
with characters dying and at the very end and things of that nature. But then we moved on, and then about a couple months passed, and the guys came back and said, "Hey, we're missing the group. We got to get the band back together."
So the same characters were resurrected and you began again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We did the classic movie 5 years later. You know?
Wow.
Yes. I feel like this might start, what might start to be a problem for me is I might start becoming less, if I get really into D&D, which I will be, if I get or more into D&D, I think I'll become less of Jessica and more of whatever character I've chosen for myself.
I could see that.
So I think
I could totally see you bringing it into our personal lives on multiple levels.
Evan's like,
I am no longer your mother.
Starts buying mead
Yeah.
instead of wine.
you'll start noticing small changes.
Amazoning wine, mead. You're like, what is this?
You'll just be at first it's wine, and then all of a sudden I'm like, it's mold, and you're like, oh, interesting.
Yes.
I do like mulled wine. It is true how that happens. At home, I have like a horn mug now, like made out of a horn, and then like I have a couple different mugs that they go on the top shelf,
Right.
or people can't necessarily see them. The bottom shelf, that's mine and my fiance's actual stuff.
That's-
the top shelf that you can't see. Got the horn mug up there.
Yeah, it's
the
a
skull mug.
nod.
Yeah.
Listen, it already has brought me so much joy, and I told Evan this is gonna sound so bizarre, but one of the D&D storylines I was watching involved a lot of like bringing back past loved ones with spells and requests from gods and such. And I had a dream last night that my family was able to bring back my grandma who passed less than a year ago. And like it became this whole, she wants to stay where she is, but she'll come and visit once a year. And in my dream, because of D&D, I had like an experience with my Nana. I talked to her in my dream for hours, and I woke up like so emotional. Like I got to talk to my Nana who's passed because of D&D. So it changes lives.
Yeah. It is interesting how things can meld like that. I mean, especially playing with the same people for years and years.
Yeah.
How people's personal lives, even unintentionally sometimes, will come across something in game that I know that they're dealing with in real life. And you can sort of feel the emotion be a little bit heavier than like,
Interesting.
we are playing a game, but I'm faced with this moral conundrum that me in my actual life is also being faced with. And now here's my test run with 7 of my friends over Zoom.
Wait, that kind of gives me chills.
Interesting.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, family, quick pause to talk about one of our amazing sponsors. And by the way, apologies to the sponsors today as we sit here in our D&D cloaks, but here we are.
We're making them better. Are you
That's
crazy?
true. That's very true. Listen, I would say my father, who has a kitten, might say having a cat and having friends and family over to his house doesn't always go so well. For example, during the holidays, Ember was at adding ornaments to my dad and stepmom's Christmas tree, and she didn't know that their little kitten Winston was hidden within the branches of the Christmas tree. Winston the cat comes flying out. Ember's absolutely terrified. It was a little chaotic. Everyone was fine. Eventually, everyone was great and thrilled. But one thing that we can say always does go well when it comes to the kittens is my dad's house smelling fresh and clean always, 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 thanks to Pretty Litter. Nothing beats Pretty Litter's ability to instantly trap odor. It is truly amazing. I know the litter can be stinky, but here's the thing. It's not with Pretty Litter. It's ultra absorbent. It's lightweight, low dust, which is amazing too. The kitty paw prints are super cute, but not when they're tracked via litter all over the house. And one 6-pound bag of Pretty Litter works for up to a month without clumping, which means no more wasting litter.
Yeah, also Pretty Litter's crystals change color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in your cat, like urinary tract infections, kidney issues, and more. And if that wasn't enough, Pretty Litter ships free right to your door, and you never run out. You never have huge kitty litter bags, piling up, taking up space. And even better, you don't have to lug those huge tubs from a store to your car and into your house, which is a major pain.
Yeah, none of that. I'm telling you, as soon as I told my dad about Pretty Litter years ago, he tried it once, and now he says it is the only litter he will ever use ever again. It's just too good. It provides peace of mind with the color changing crystals, gets rid of that stink and dust, which he is a clean man, so he loves and lives for it. Count on Pretty Litter to keep your house smelling fresh and clean. Go to prettylitter.com/momdad to save 20% on your first order. That's prettylitter.com/momdad to save 20% on your first order. prettylitter.com/momdad. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. Okay, well, Bryan, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course.
Yes.
Will you do us a favor? Because again, everyone watching, the family members who might be, big time D&D players, you're going to hear us learning this. So, you get to watch us fumble around.
Yeah.
But for some of you who've never played it before, will you just kind of give us a little bit of the basics?
Yeah.
For me and Evan.
Totally.
Before we dive in.
So it is a role-playing game.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, all you really need to bring to the table to play this game is an imagination and a want to play.
Yeah.
That's it. The second part of the game that is secondary, especially at this base level when I try to teach people, is I gave you guys each a little thing in front of you that you can open up now.
Wait. Oh my God.
You guys can
These
open
are
it.
Bryan
wooden cases, if you can't see. They're wooden
Oh
cases.
my gosh. Wait, mine is
Is this a
black
vape?
and
What is
mysterious.
this?
We will be smoking.
Pineapple flavored.
It is medieval tobacco.
My
Whoa,
dice are
dye.
so cool.
Wait, isn't it die
My
when
die?
it's plural?
My dice?
Dices.
My dice. My dicey.
Dicey?
Dices.
Dicey?
It's dices. It is dices.
Is it really?
No.
I was like, wait a second, you're fucking me up now.
My Dionysus.
Yeah. Diceal.
These are actually pretty cool. When we had talked about sort of what you were into,
Yes.
I picked a little bit for all three of you. And so,
Okay, so just so the audience knows, Lee's coming to the table with a character that is well established. This is who Lee is, right? This is Lee's D&D character. Evan and I separately gave Bryan what we would like our character to be and a little bit about our character. So
Yeah.
he
Yes.
came in with our sheets, and you're giving us these die that are based off of our character, and mine are so cool.
Yeah, yours are really cool. Yours are like, what are they?
Wait, mine are
yours are a bit of a hodgepodge. I put that together. This is a full set. Those
my
are really
gosh.
cool, huh?
Whoa. These are like crystal, like blue deep crystals.
Whoa.
Pick up those ones. Those are the main thing that you really need to play Dungeons and Dragons, besides an imagination and a want to play, are dice, specifically that, which is called a D20. It's a 20-sided die.
Got it.
Okay.
And so basically, the easiest way to learn about this game is to know that you can do whatever you want to do. Situations will be presented to you. You can determine via your character's mindset what you'd like to do.
Yeah.
And if it's something hard, like I want to climb a roof, you'll roll that dice. You'll add a number on your sheet, your climbing roll, which would be like athletics, basically. And it will either meet the number, the DC, the difficulty class that you need to meet, or it won't. And so either you successfully climb the roof, or maybe you fall. and you didn't climb the roof, you fall on your keister, it's embarrassing.
Okay.
Yeah.
But is there like so if I do that, but isn't there also like a repercussion for trying something? So like if I try to climb, I roll bad, I fall, could I also then hurt myself?
It depends, yes.
It depends on the thing?
When you roll that 20-sided die, which that's your bread and butter.
Okay.
So get used to that one. All the other ones will come into play at some point.
Right.
But the 20-sided die is really all you need. And you could hurt yourself. So if you roll that 20-sided die and it's a 20, that is a natural 20. For most things, that is a automatic success.
Got it.
A natural 1 is an automatic failure.
Okay.
No matter what number you add to it on your sheet.
Yeah.
That is a natural 1, a critical failure. And if you attempted to climb a roof that was 10 feet high and you rolled a nat 1, you might fall and take a little bit of damage.
Got it.
Because you rolled a natural 1.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of those rules are sort of up to the DM on how crazy you want to get with what a nat 1 means. The homebrew is what they call it. You can kind of do whatever you like.
Got it. Okay.
Which we won't. I'm not going to make it too crazy for you.
Right. The idea today is to learn.
Great.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Well,
Wait, I thought I could do everything in this
you
game.
said.
He said, "Well, I'm natural 1, and now your neck's broken. So I'll see you guys later. It's been a blast."
Wow, this game's easy.
Okay, so the thing that you had told us, you were like, what I love about D&D is that you're like, I could do it on the phone with you right now.
Yes.
So it's a game that you could play anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
And especially if you happen to do you carry a die with you everywhere you go?
I don't, but I do have an app on my phone.
Okay,
that
so
has
that you
all
could
the
just-
dice you need.
Technology.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Okay. So then there you go. You can just do it on your phone. You can do it anywhere.
You could. When you play online, there are resources to let you roll. You're rolling electronically so everybody can see it.
Got it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but that is basically all you need. And anything is possible. There's no need to hold back on what you would like to do or what you don't want to do. That's the basics. All of the other stuff, the crunchier stuff, we can sort of get into a little bit, like at the bottom of your guys' sheets.
Okay. These are character sheets.
Yeah, we have sheets with all of our details
Is
on
it called a character sheet or what is it called?
Exactly.
Character sheet? Okay.
Okay.
At the bottom, you'll see down there, Evan, for example, there's a great sword.
Yeah.
And you see how it says 2d6 plus 1. Mm-hmm. So those 6-sided die, which I gave you 2 of, that's skeleton 1 and the red one, you would roll both those.
Okay.
Whatever number there, plus 1, that's how much damage you did.
Got it.
That's where the other dice come into play for things like that, for spells or for damage or things. But for the most part, you're rolling a 20-sided die.
Got it. Okay. Understood.
Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
And by the way, over the phone and over text, I've done that with people all the time.
Played over the phone and text.
A lot of times when people are like when they're interested in it and they're like, I know you as this dude who like makes music, like you have this whole other life.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's easy. I was like, let's go right now. Like you wake up in the middle of a field, what do you do? And then just interesting hearing people on the phone be like, look around.
Right.
I'm like, cool, you see a goblin coming out of the bushes towards you. What do you do? And then you get people who are like, I'm going to run away. Like, do I see cover? Or people who are like, I'm going to go fight him. I'm going to do this. And it's easy to do that when that is I'm
already in, baby.
It's as simple as that. I try not to, especially when people are starting out.
I make best friends and we start a bar together.
I was gonna say, I was like, I flash it.
It's called Evan and the Goblin. We chill.
There's a great podcast that you guys might like that's mostly role play. It's called Sitcom D&D.
Okay.
And it is literally about like, I think it starts out with them like, yeah, they own a bar. It's like Cheers.
Oh, so instead of like a medieval or a majestical vibe, it's like a very just normal life.
It is like a tavern.
Oh, okay.
In medieval times, but it's about these people who own a tavern, and it's very like cheer. Every episode is like a Cheers episode where like somebody new comes in and there's a new problem.
I foresee this becoming a big part of my life.
Whether y'all like it or not, this podcast is now a D&D
The
podcast.
bottom line is this: you started watching us for the recaps of reality TV, and now we're gonna go on quests, bitch. So
Get in. Buckle up.
it started with Zelda when Evan opened up to Zelda, and now here we are. You know,
That's
a year later.
That's a great one. A lot of people who play D&D, that's how it starts.
It opened up my
Zelda,
heart.
yeah.
Because I was a cold, shut down,
Brian,
adult.
Tell the family.
Frigid.
Tell the family about how Evan was when you met him. Right? He was resistant to the magic a little bit.
Let's talk shit on me. Go.
I think he was resistant to the magic a little bit. I actually do remember when we were recording an album together. I brought it up a couple times, and I remember looking at you and seeing like you were being a supportive friend in the sense where you were like listening to me, but I also saw it in your eyes, you just going like, brother, come on. I was like, no way we're doing this right now. But you were like, oh, okay. And what did the dragon say to you?
Yeah, it's true. I remember being like, this is so outside of my brain, but at the same time, I think what it was is that I grew up into this type of thing. Like I really enjoyed fantasy. I really enjoyed sci-fi.
you were
I really
born loving
enjoyed
it,
that
yeah.
stuff. And then enough people in my life, like no one else in my life is into that stuff. So like it just over time, you just kind of like enough people would be like, huh? What? Huh? And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe. And then you just slowly deteriorate. But it's definitely in me. Like,
And I feel like
as you're talking, I'm like, oh,
It's
like
been cracking him open slowly and slowly. It's like you two started to work together and became best friends.
Yes.
Brian was like our buddy in the pandemic.
Yeah.
You were over here recording when everything shut down.
Yeah.
And so we were like living together essentially, like in our little pod. And so then you started cracking away at Evan because you are into the fantasy of it all. Then you started chatty bros with Grayston, and Grayston is into the fantasy of it all. So I watched it starting to chip. And then Lee started, he's chipping away. And then I'm like, yes, we open him up.
Then I got some therapy, some more chipping away.
Yeah.
So here we are. Okay, so like I said, we have the characters that we presented to you separately and privately.
Yes.
Do we start chatting about them?
Yeah, I think each of you should say a little thing. So for those of you listening, when creating a character in Dungeons and Dragons, which we're not going to get into that minutia of it today. There's certain like crunchy details of the game that get very mathy and get very bogged down. And to start off, you just kind of want to go.
Okay.
But generally in making a class, there are 3 like umbrellas that you can choose from. You can choose a warrior type, and then there are classes under that: barbarian, fighter, etc. There is mages, wizards with bonnets, sorcerers, warlocks, etc. And then there's sort of like the holy, divine priests of it all, for lack of a better term: paladins, clerics, druids. And you guys kind of gave me, you guys gave me, it was awesome, literally. I was watching Ink Master with my fiance, and I got that thing, and I was like, you got to pause this. And just played it out.
Voice memos.
Played it out loud, and me and Madison were both like, wow. I was expecting to be like, I don't know, I like a Legolas, like could I be a Legolas type? And what you guys gave me was very detailed, and that I will say moving forward too, the more of that, the better always.
Detail in this game.
Even with whatever, anything that you're thinking. When I start campaigns with people and I sort of say like, what's your character's vibe? Some people will go like, oh, he's shy and kind of reserved and he lives in this town. He's a bartender. And then I have other characters who go, my character's goal is to go kill a god and become the god of all gods.
Right.
And that's sort of a vibe I always appreciate because I go like, yeah, why else are we here?
Yeah.
I love that. Let's go.
We
that's
love a
your
mission.
end goal.
Got it. Okay.
So with that being said, if you guys want to.
Lee, do you want to start because you have an established persona?
Sure. It's cool. This persona has not made it to the table yet, but it's been in the works for a while, so I'm pretty stoked. So,
oh my god,
I am a half-elf druid named Jacquois, a half-elf who was cast out by the elves for his, half-elfness.
Oh, damn.
And cast into the swamp. The swamp beneath the elf forest, I guess, But the swamp might be dark, but the stars are very light. And he's a bit of an astronomer and has spent the last 10 years assembling his tomes on the nature of the stars and the infinite, which has led for him not really being able to socialize super well. So that's going to be fun.
So, my gosh, you're going to be hanging out with some of us.
Yeah. So I think, by the time I meet you guys, I've just come out of my swamp trance journey of the mind. Whoa. Getting in touch with nature. And I'm finally just starting to be like, hey, I got to eat some food. It's been years.
Whoa. Wait, can I ask what tomes are?
Oh, tomes. This is my life's work, my thesis, if you will. Just gathering books.
Oh, you're writing.
Oh, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's my writing on the infinity of nature. and uncertainty in the world.
I'm gonna learn a
Damn,
lot
that
of
was
words.
poetic.
Damn, Lee.
Yeah.
You know what? I am so not surprised. Of
Yeah.
course, Lee is just like this glorious, majestic, like kind of like elusive astronomer. I'm in.
And for
Je
those
crois.
of you out there who don't know what a druid is,
Okay.
a druid is sort of, you're very in touch with nature and animals, and you sort of draw your spells from nature and animals and stuff of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that.
Wow, that
Yes.
was gorgeous.
Yes. Okay. Nice to meet you, Je crois.
Je crois.
Nice to meet you, Je crois.
Oui, oui.
All right. Should I go next?
Yeah, go.
All right. I am Cindy Crawford. But you can call me Crawford. My friends do. And I was born in a nest, and I do not know who my parents are. I was dropped off in a nest, delivered in a nest. I'm unknown of my parents' origin, but I was awoken to my mother, Goddess Crow. She is my god, and she is also my mother. She is the Goddess Crow, and I have thousands and thousands and thousands of brothers and sisters who are also crows, but I am human. I am a sorcerer.
Yes.
I know the magic of it all, but I believe that I am also a crow. And through my whole life, I've always thought that I was a crow. And I'm a little bit delulu in general. I kind of am delusional. I think I'm the hottest shit to ever walk the planet. Everyone wants to date me or be me. She's delusional. And she loves her delusion, but she's also extremely anxious. Because relatable. So her delusion comes with her attitude. She thinks she can do everything when she can't, and she also thinks she's a crow. I think a little bit of a life mission for me is to find my parents. Because I am convinced that when I find them, they will also be crows, so that I can let everyone know I truly am a crow. You know, perhaps she's fashioned wings. I see Cindy Crawford as someone who is I'm very steampunk, you know, some fake wings on me to make myself as crow-like as possible, because I know I am one. And yeah,
I love that.
I think that's me.
This is interesting. I'm over here, and I just had to catch myself because I was over here like watching like a proud parent. I was like, so I was like tearing up a little just
My
watching.
work.
Going,
But a sorcerer, yes.
Yes.
So I am able to do some magic.
you have a list of spells there for those of you at home who don't know us. The difference between a sorcerer and a wizard would be that a wizard learns magic through school, through scrolls, through tomes even. And a sorcerer, it is in your blood. It is in your family lineage. It is in your... When you guys look at the left side of your sheet there, you'll see some stats. You'll see strength and dexterity, constitution, wisdom, intelligence, charisma. Your spell casting comes from your charisma because it's part of who you are.
I got +5 for charisma, which
Yeah.
thank you very
Yeah,
much.
what does it say about
That
me that I have
also-
zero charisma? Is that
Let me just say this. With a +5 charisma, that adds to her delusional
Yes.
nature that she thinks she is the hot shit. Okay? All right. This is good to know because
Yes.
as Cindy, as Crawford moves forward, she's a little bit of a bitch, but she's so anxious. God bless my sweetheart. Okay, family, listen up, everyone. Starting a health and wellness journey is never easy, and it's so personal. I mean, like, look at, I talked about my character now, my D&D character. Like, we're working on our strength training over here. My D&D character, we're -1 on the strength, so we're working on that. Personally, for myself, Jess over here, I've learned for myself, it's got to be something accessible from home. I've got to have a motivating instructor, and it just has to be something I actually enjoy, which is why a few months ago, I was so thrilled to discover and start Allo Moves. Whether you are going all in or easing into it, which is what I needed, Allo Moves has the classes and flows that are made to move with you.
Yeah, the videos are actually really, really
They're
good.
amazing.
We've been doing it together, and it's really fun. Allo Moves is the on-demand streaming wellness platform from Allo Yoga. I actually have some of their gear as well. From yoga and fitness to meditation and self-care, it's now our go-to for every step of our health and wellness journey. We've discovered that we are all about those small daily rituals that make really big differences, and Aloe Moves gets it.
They really do get it. Whether you're needing some alignment with guided meditation or we're ready to kick butt in cardio or HIIT classes, Aloe Moves has what we need when we need it. And everybody, here's the thing, hold the phone. Like, can we talk about the game changes, the gua sha, the dry brushing, the face yoga? It's like, I've got all this wellness magic that I'm able to use with these classes, and I'm going to be doing it all now, by the way. With over 100 new classes every month, 100 new classes every month. Aloe Moves is keeping us hooked and motivated. I'm telling you all, the flexibility of being able to have my hands on all of these classes and do them whenever possible is helping me really start to keep that movement journey going. Please go check out the website. The classes are incredible. The instructors are amazing. We are loving it. No matter your path, it's time to make a move with Aloe Moves. Get a free 30-day Aloe Moves subscription by going to aloemoves.com and use code MOMDAD. That's ALO moves.com, code MOMDAD in all capital letters, okay? In all caps. aloemoves.com, code MOMDAD, all caps.
Incredible.
All right, Evan.
Okay, my turn? Uh-huh. Okay. So my birth name is Shargarian, okay? and that's a grand name because I was born to a mighty, basically demon commander. Okay? And I am the firstborn of the demon commander. And so
hold on a second. Out of everything, you choose to be a demon?
Well, yes. I mean, listen, this is fantasy here, okay? I'm feeling a little demonic, okay? So I am... like my background, I got dad who's like demon commander, badass in demon terms. He gives me the great name Shargarian, but what comes out is a 13-foot, just kind of bumbly, doesn't have all the like evil, conniving, mysterious, slippery elements that all my kind have. Most of them are 6 foot and kind of mischievous, and I'm 13 feet, massive.
So you're twice the size of everyone else?
Twice the size, and I'm kind of like I'm not slippery and sneaky at all. They end up calling me Chug. Because anyway, so my whole thing is I'm supposed to be something I'm very much not. I don't identify with it. I don't feel at home with it. They send me out into the world in order to find my kind of evil nature again, to kind of find who I truly am supposed to be, come back, be the firstborn, kind of take over the family business of, whatever horrible things they do.
It's like a demonic.
Being demonic. But I can't wait to go out into the world because I want to meet people, because I like people. I think they're not so bad. Maybe we got them wrong. I want to experience life in this world. But I'm definitely like the black sheep, the weirdo, the guy who doesn't fit in.
In this demon community.
In the demon community.
Wait, okay. So when we meet you, you're 13 feet.
Yeah, huge.
So you're absolutely massive.
Yeah.
Are you bad? Okay, so question. Is there like bad, good, is there the question mark? Do you go in being like, I am a good character, or I am a villain, or it's a mystery? Like, I
think it fully depends on your dungeon master and the setting you play in.
Okay.
There are a lot of traditional settings where very Middle Earth dwarves and hobbits are good. Halflings are the equivalent of hobbits, and orcs are bad.
Right.
And then there's more updated settings and more of the vibe of a lot of people where it's sort of like the world is so massive and so full of fantasy that the lineage of all the people that you meet is sort of mixed. Okay. You'll meet a demon who's walking around the town and is not necessarily everybody's giving eyes to.
Okay.
There is also something called your alignments, which is sort of getting phased out a bit because it can change.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be locked in necessarily, but you could be, which might make sense because I made an EP with you at one point that was called Chaotic Good.
There you go.
That is an alignment in D&D.
Okay.
Which you could be, neutral, good, evil, and then chaotic, lawful, or neutral. So it's like lawful evil, chaotic evil, neutral evil, lawful good, chaotic good, neutral good.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
chaotic
okay.
neutral, lawful neutral,
Right.
true
all
neutral.
sorts. Okay.
But we don't need to follow that.
Okay.
It is the way that I find is that especially when you play with people, either for the first time or for long periods of time.
Yeah.
People do it. They're not going to be boxed into.
We switch it up.
My guy has to do this because he's lawful.
Got
good.
it.
Unless you
Okay.
wanted to. If somebody wanted to make that their own personal choice.
Okay.
As the dungeon master, I would be like, I love that you're giving yourself parameters, but just know that those parameters won't come from me.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite in the way that I'm supposed to be locked into something and I'm not.
Okay.
And I don't get the whole thing. And I'm out of here. And I got to go find my own life.
I love that.
You're a demon.
I'm a huge demon.
So goat legs.
I'm
Like the
thinking
goat leg
I'm thinking
action?
goat legs.
Yeah.
Like furry,
Yeah.
hooved. But
The
then
weird,
like up
the
top,
weird knees that go backwards for a second.
the knees, that kind of an indented leg.
Go legs and 13 feet is terrifying.
Yeah, I am terrifying.
Yeah.
But my demeanor is not.
Do you have massive teeth coming out, or are you?
You know, I mean,
I need to
Veneers
picture
or-
this.
yeah, I mean, I live in Hollywood, so I definitely know. My dad is rich, so he paid for the teeth. No, but
Yes, Lucifer.
no, I'd be like a red beard, and like I'm buff, and everything about me screams like your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
But my personality is very like, hey, what's your name? Like I'm not, it's like I thought you got like a demon, but like I'm not,
Love that.
Okay.
do you know where I could get some directions? There's a little bit of that energy, you know what I mean? Not to bother you, you know what I mean?
Asking your neighbor for like a cup of milk.
Do you have milk? Like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Jerry, there's a demon.
yeah.
And your father would be the D&D equivalent of Lucifer.
Sure.
I can give you a name. Asmodeus.
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 That's my father.
That is your father.
That sounds
That
incredible.
is so Chargarian. Is it?
Yeah, son of
Son of
Asmodeus.
Asmodeus.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds as demonic as it gets. I love it. Okay.
Wait, Chargarian and Jacquois and then Cindy Crawford. So she's going by Crawford, okay?
Yeah. Crawford.
I love this though. You guys gave me so much that even in getting that's like a dream. I mean, I have other, I have campaigns where I'll have to send people beforehand, like sheets that they fill out, almost like I'm assigning homework.
Right.
Like I'm like, it'll be like, describe a bit about yourself. What are things that your character likes? What are things that your character dislikes? Like, what is your character's long-term goal? And some of that won't even be as fleshed out as I feel like what you guys just came with.
Amazing.
Just in that.
So
And
we're
that's all you
starting
need.
off good.
Okay,
Let's go.
All right. What next?
So right before we start, just let me show you a couple more things on your sheet, just so that we
Okay.
know. I actually circled some stuff. So there will be something called your armor class.
Okay.
See it?
So that will be when I, as the DM, as a potential bad guy, I roll and I add my stuff. I need to know what that number is because I need to either meet that or beat that to hit you.
Got it. Okay.
In
Got it.
combat, there is the big section that I put brackets around. All of those things, those will be when I ask you for a persuasion roll or for an athletics roll. You have numbers, and those numbers come from your scores right next to it.
Got it.
Me?
Just so it makes sense. Got it. Okay.
Crawford having a -1 strength feels very equivalent to Jessica. I'm like, even in D&D, I'm like, she doesn't work out. She's trying though. She's on her fitness journey.
Effort is a 5. Yeah.
And then
Charisma's a 5.
Yeah, exactly.
at the bottom of your guys' sheets, you all have your weapons.
Yeah.
Which is an action. Right above that, there's a section that says actions, and it has things you can do, and they don't always have to be attacks. You can dodge, you can hide, you can disengage, which means like I'm gonna run away from this guy.
Okay.
Things of that nature. And then
This one says make out with Cindy Crawford. I don't know. Did you put that there?
yeah, it's a -6 to make it happen, but who knows?
Like, listen, I
But
don't
I'm
want your
trying to have
demon
some.
lips
I'm trying
on
to
my
have
crow
some
mouth.
demon crow babies.
Wow. The next time we play, that's one of the characters.
Yeah, I want to play erotic Dungeons and Dragons.
It's 18 years later. One of you is playing the child of Targaryen and Cindy Crawford. And then for all of you on the very last page, for you, Chug, it's just one thing that comes from your lineage. It's called thaumaturgy.
Oh, right.
And then for you two, you have spells. And if you have any questions as to what the spell does and you're interested in using it, just let me know. And
Okay.
other than that, yeah.
Can I ask what a few of these mean?
Absolutely.
I'm assuming like I see charm person.
Yes.
I can gather that one.
Yes, yes.
Whoops, already doing it.
I'm gonna use that one immediately.
So you'll see right next to it, it has DC, I think it's 13, which means as the person you're trying to charm, me, I will roll a D20 and I have to beat a 13 to not be charmed.
So what is prestidigitation?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation is very hard to say.
That's a fun one. That's very like when you watch movies with wizards and they get a bunch of mud on them and then just go zoop, and all the mud flies off. Little things like that. Prestidigitation.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
I think that's
Is
about all
this
you
it?
guys. If there's any
You're so
questions,
mysterious.
Yeah, dude, I don't trust your call already, dude, to be honest with you.
I feel like
Go back to the bogs or whatever you came from.
I just love that I'm going to meet Chug and Jacqua. Like there would be no more
adventure.
opposite. Okay. All right.
any questions you guys have, by the way, feel free to let me know. Okay.
All right.
Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay. In the town of Almsford. Wow, that music coming in. So nice. In the town of Almsford, on the world of Iola, the players, Shargarian, Cofford, Jacqua, have been hired by a swamped local detective known as the Space Cowboy to help out with a string of disappearances around town. Specifically, you have been hired to investigate the disappearance of the town's local bartender and baker, Mr. Butters. You all know Mr. Butters. He's a great man. The Space Cowboy is offering you each 5 gold and an honorary detective badge to deal with this case as you see fit. Cofford, you feel like getting your foot in the people-finding industry might one day lead you to finding out who your parents are. Seems like a good place to start. Shargarian, you've struggled with being evil and accepted by your demonic peers and your devil father, but you figure if you find whoever and whatever is behind these disappearances, you could enact some sort of justice and bridge the gap between mortals and devils. Ooh. Through your travels, the two of you met, joined forces, and subsequently grew your adventuring party out with the arrival of a druid named Jacqua. Together, the three of you assume you could get more done as a unit than alone. I'll say this. Why don't we start off real quick with everybody roll me as you are all, we'll say that you are all standing outside this tavern. The tavern's called the Drunken Frog. The bakery is attached. It's called For Butter or Worse.
Silver Lake?
You're waiting for the arrival of the Space Cowboy to sort of give some details. This detective. Why don't you each roll me a history check?
Oh.
So this is a good way to ease in. You'll roll that 20-sided die. You'll find your history score and let me know the number you roll.
I got a 14.
14 from Jacqua.
18.
An 18 from Shargarian.
A 2.
Get back in that damn.
She's delusional. She doesn't know.
Yeah, you actually.
History's for losers.
I think as you guys are standing here waiting for the arrival of the Space Cowboy, you notice in the distance some crows passing overhead, and your attention is taken away for a second as the two of you try to recall details that you know about Mr. Butters.
I go, hey, sweetheart. Oh my God, it's my grandmother. We look so much alike.
And did you guys add the little number next to your history score?
Oh.
2, so 20.
So a dirty 20. That's awesome.
Yeah.
At 14? Awesome.
Plus 3, so I remain a 5.
A 5. That's,
A 5.
a 5's better
Go
than
back
a 2.
to that crowing in the sky.
You guys know Bob with this history check. You most of all, you've probably spent the most time at the tavern shooting the shit with Bob and the customers. Maybe you've gotten something from his bakery. He makes great cakes. He's a funny man, and he loves to garden. You've seen where his home is. He has a large garden out front. But he's been having trouble lately with critters eating his plants, eating parts of his garden. He actually just laid down the other day some chicken wire to protect his garden out front of his home. You stand outside this, and as you guys are waiting for the space cowboy and you're out front, where do you guys think that you would start looking for Mr. Butters? Wheelbarrow passes as a commoner goes through town. It's mid-afternoon, so the bar's not bustling, the tavern's not bustling, but it is open. The bakery's been shut down for now.
Am I, even though I've been distracted by this crow, am I able to snap out of? Well, I remember that for a while, Mr. Salt and Mr. Butters were talking about maybe a partnership together, like expanding his business. Mr. Salt, he was very much into the meats of it all. So he was a combination of a bakery and also, we love a prosciutto. We love a prosciutto with it, all this.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe talk to Mr. Salt. I don't even know what happened. They never ended up doing that combination partnership.
So then, going off of what you're saying, sorry, just quick question. Love that.
Yeah.
So then,
Can I just make that up?
Absolutely.
that was fucking amazing.
That's amazing.
It was so good, it threw me off. To be honest with you, I was like, holy shit. Okay.
As a dungeon master, that is a gift.
Okay.
Saying something like that, you giving me Mr. Salt is a gift.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So now, when you look at us like that, right? Is it our job to then just roll with whatever, or you know what I'm saying? Or looking at you to then kind of bounce off that, or is it all open?
All open.
Got it.
You guys knowing that, you know that you could go talk to Mr. Salt if you'd like. You could let's
Okay, I think I got a vibe.
Okay.
I think I got a vibe. Okay. So my initial thought is that if Mr. Salt is a little bit of a person of interest, we shouldn't just go knock on his door and talk to him.
Well, obviously not, Chug. You're massive. Okay, you're gonna scare the shit out of Mr. Salt.
This has a lot to do with my personal experience. But maybe we should find out where he works or find out where the shop and kind of observe his comings and goings. Maybe talk to some people about him. Catch a vibe.
I like that. Jiqua, what do the stars say about it right now? Is there any leaning towards the stars? Are people open right now?
Oh, well, I haven't eaten anything but a good berry today, so I could get into some charcuterie.
The Southern Elf. Fantastic.
So why don't we go to Mr. Salt's shop and get some prosciutto?
Oh, yes. We'll dine together.
That's a good idea.
Now, is it okay, do you think, for us to bring you around, Chug? Is Mr. Salt... Are we used to the characters in this specific town? Are they all right with a demon wandering around?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody's all right. I think you would know that everybody's a little on edge because the reason why the detective, the space cowboy, is swamped is because there's been a string of disappearances. So you guys being capable adventurers, he's sort of been like, hey, if you guys can help me out, you take this one. I'm going to give you these honorary detective badges, giving you carte blanche to deal with this how you see fit because I'm swamped.
Okay. Okay. All right, then should we do it?
Nice try to get me out of the group.
Jiqua, can I have an aside with you for a moment? Jiqua, I know that everyone's fine with Chug being around, but let's just remember, we got to keep him in line.
All right, well, I'll keep an eye on the goat man, but we know he's all sweet and gentle on the inside.
I'm just more concerned about the way he eats in public. So maybe at some point I'll use some sort of spell to make it look like he's eating politely.
Well, all right.
All right.
You guys weren't talking. You guys were talking about eating habits, were you? Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. Should we do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, as you guys head over to Mr. Salt's meat shop, why doesn't everybody also just, let's get in the swing of things, roll me a perception check. There'll be another skill on there, so you roll another d20 and add your perception skill.
That's a 7.
7.
11.
17.
17.
Plus 0, so 17.
That's totally good. So, Crawford, you now, after being distracted slightly on your guys' walk over to the meat shop, over to Mr. Salt's, you're a little bit more tuned in now. You're focused. And on your way over, you notice that there are these tiny holes in the ground. Like the kind that, you'd see like a little snake hole or something. For like a critter. You see them around town, around people's homes or around people's gardens and things of that nature. And you see these little tunnels, these little burrows.
At first, my inner crow comes out, and I do want to start pecking for worms. Okay, that's my initial desire.
Yeah.
But instead, because my perception is high, I start to notice, and I bring up, Chug, Jacqua, have you noticed that these holes, I feel like I saw them starting mostly on these pathways around the village, but I feel like they've become more dense in gardens. The last garden that I went to, when I went by, Sally What's-Her-Face, who thinks she's hot shit and who tries to copy everything I fucking wear, that bitch, I walked by her garden and there was hundreds of these holes. I at first noticed them along these pathways, and I feel like there's less of them now here and way more in these garden spaces. Anyone else?
Well, that is just wild. Maybe we could go over there and I can take a look at those critters, see what they are.
Just make sure when you're over there, Jacqua, that you don't, Sally's going to want to talk your ear off. You know how fucking she is. So, just try to use your sweet, soothing words to have her get to the point. Such a bitch, that Sally.
So did you want to go check out one of the holes?
Yeah, do a little nature check.
Yeah, I think as you walk up to one, you hear somebody leave this house outside of one of the holes, and you say, "All right, Miss What's-Her-Face, I'll see you later." And heads out down the thing. Give me a nature check.
Oh, another 7.
Oh,
Another 7.
Low today.
You definitely know with a 7 that this is a hole made by a critter, some sort of animal that uses maybe burrows or tunnels underground. I'd say with a 7, you could rule out snake.
All right.
That much you know. You look at it and you go, this is not a snake situation.
All right. So it's not really a reptile, maybe more of a mole or a gopher situation.
Delicious.
I've already eaten 3.
Man, it sounds like we're all pretty hungry. Should we keep going to the meat shop?
Yeah, I guess so. Huh. So many moles. Strange.
You arrive to Mr. Salt's meat shop, and you actually catch him out on the front porch smoking a pipe, and he sees you guys walk up and goes, "Oh, hey, how's it going? Good to see you guys." Chug, nice to meet you. You were going crazy at the bar the other night, buddy.
Sorry, I ordered 700 meads.
Hey, you don't even ever have to apologize to me, buddy. I love it.
I drink everything I see just to feel at home again.
Okay. Oh, geez. All right. Well,
Sorry, too much information.
No, that's great.
I overshare.
No, it's great. Honestly, you guys got to come sometime when we get a chant going. Chug. This guy is crazy.
Can I? What's Mage Hand?
That's a fun one. You create like this spectral hand that's like floating away from you that can do things for you. You can control it. It's like picture like an invisible hand floating nearby.
Okay.
And then you can move it. It can't hold a lot of weight, but it can, it can poke things, grab things, that sort of an.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I cast that spell to take this hand and yank the pipe out of Mr. Salt's mouth and like have it go running down the road to distract him so that we can kind of inspect his shop for a minute without him being there?
Definitely.
Okay, I know, Jacqua, that you wanted some prosciutto. We'll have some later, I swear to God. We'll send Chug in the back to go do some carving of the meats on the floor.
Always giving me the bullshit jobs. Well, you actually want me to get prosciutto? Like, what?
Much like as that happens, much like Dwight in The Office when he's trying to buy time when he kicks the volleyball when they're at the I don't know if you guys remember that episode, but he goes, "Oh, geez, well, I better go get that, okay?" And starts walking so slowly over to go get the pipe that's been thrown out of his mouth and leaves. You see his shop is unlocked and is open for the inspection.
Okay. Do you think that should we stay together and inspect, or should we separate?
I think we should separate. I'm thinking one of us should shop,
Okay.
and then two of us should investigate.
Okay.
Maybe one on the outside.
I'm fine shopping.
Maybe one on the outside, one on the inside, one shopping, so that if he kind of surprisingly comes back, there's not this.
Yeah.
Where is everybody?
Yeah, I'll stay on the outside, and when he comes back, I'll ask him if he has any of these mole holes.
Oh, it's a good distraction technique.
Yes. Also, can you make sure while you're checking on the outside to see if he has mole holes anyway?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Jacqua, I can always count on you. Chug, are you going to go into the freezer?
Yes.
Can I use my thaumaturgy? Is that what it is?
Thaumaturgy.
Thaumaturgy to open the freezer before we get to it, just
Absolutely.
so that like we can see. You know what I mean? It's like open it up
Casting spells.
because I can't fit into the freezer. I'm too big, so I'm gonna have to open it.
Oh, okay. Wait.
I'm too big so that you can go in because I am so distractingly large that I think I should be like in the middle of the shop. So if he
Okay.
gets past Jacqua, that it'll be like I can stop him with, what kind of meats do you have?
Okay.
And you're going to be meanwhile inspecting.
Okay, sure. You can stop him by just eating all the meats in the
but I'd be
shop
like, I had no idea this
absolutely
place had free
disgustingly.
meat.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, sir, that meat is not cooked. You're just eating it raw.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a demon.
Yeah.
Well, I like it. Flesh.
You just go up to the shopkeeper and just start gnawing on her arm and she's still alive.
Is this prosciutto? It's delicious.
Chug, stop eating the employees.
Okay.
That sounds like a plan.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to cast the spell?
Freezer. You're staying outside, checking for holes and waiting for him to get back and caw.
Okay, so I enter into the shop and I'm going to go into the freezer.
Okay.
I'm very annoyed that Chug sent me to do this. It's absolutely freezing in here, and the only thing that is positive about it is giving me those hard nips that are really popular. Because, side note, Crawford has a rack, okay?
Crawford has huge crow boobs.
First of all, let's remember and let's make this very clear that Crawford is a sorcerer. I'm a human.
Right.
I just think I'm a crow.
Right.
The one positive thing that I'm down with is my huge rack, and I'm just adding this as a personal touch because Jess has always wanted massive boob jobs, so Crawford's gonna have massive teeth.
Yes.
I love that.
Just as a side note, okay. So I go into the freezer. It's absolutely frozen. It's disgusting. I hate frozen meat. It's slippery. It's gross. I hate the smell. Everything is normal, per usual, hanging from hooks. Something looks delicious. I'm sure that Chug would love. I've never seen these certain types of meat before. I guess that's one of the interesting things. But as I go farther in to the freezer, in a small corner, there's just a big lump of snow. Like, you know, that frozen where it's kind of been shaved at the bottom?
Yeah.
So I start going through the snow, and as I'm digging, I find wrapped in what looks like it might be cheesecloth. Open it up. Frozen bread. Now, why would Mr. Salt in his freezer need bread?
You also roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
That's a great use of that skill.
Okay. Investigation +1. An 8.
An 8. So in addition to
So
finding
9.
that bread, you are looking it over and you notice that there is a hole on the inside of the bread, hollowed out. Like the bread has been put back together and there's something inside this loaf of bread.
So there's something inside the loaf of bread right now, or it's just empty in the middle?
No, there's some you as you pick it up, you know that something's inside of it.
Okay. I start pulling it apart.
You pull it apart and inside is a little vial, like a tiny little vial with what you would best describe as like a worm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interestingly enough, as I pull this out, the worm looks like a worm, but it's thick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a juicy, chunky worm. My initial instinct, eat that bitch. I know what my family
As a crow.
as Mother Crow would do. She would want me to bring it back to her, so I'll be saving it for later. But I noticed size-wise, it is quite thicker than any worm I've ever seen. It could fit in one of those holes.
It looks a little small for the outside holes.
The outside holes.
But the holes that are outside.
Okay.
It looks a little small for that. But
Interesting.
it's not like a mealworm.
So it's a chunky worm.
It's a chunky little about that. Couple inches wide, 3 inches long. Do you want to inspect it further?
I think I want to bring it. I would love to take it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to close the vial back up.
Cool.
Put the bread where it was before, cover it back with snow. I don't want Mr. Salt seeing what I've been doing.
Yes.
And I'm going to put the vial in my gorgeous satchel that is made of the feathers of my family. And I want to show it to my friends later because I don't know if maybe my druid friend over here knows something of this. Maybe Chug's eaten one before. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Totally.
Maybe he's put one in someone's ear to torment them before.
My father
sure.
loved those. Yeah. Can I ask a question to you? I mean, I want to know if in the so if you walked out and you're showing me this, if I'm seeing this, I'm wondering, were there a bunch of these? Was it a single piece of bread with a single vial with a single worm in it, and that was the only thing? Or were there like hundreds of those there?
The only thing that I could find is when I was digging through, I just found this single frozen loaf of bread with the one vial and the one worm in it.
An interesting point, as you're doing that and you're sort of emerging back out with it to come meet with your friends, you guys have stayed outside. We've been waiting for him to return and looking for the holes around the place. 2 things of note. Number 1, no holes. Number 2, Mr. Salt never returns.
Shit. Okay. I scared him away. I was hoping to talk to him.
Or something took him.
So at this point, I've come out of the freezer.
Yes.
And I've come out to the center of the room. Mr. Salt is gone. Are we able to now sit together and discuss, maybe over some prosciutto, because I know my friend Jacqua over here was hungry.
Yeah, he was the only person working, so there is just prosciutto that you could just
We could just
nab
take?
right on the counter, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's all just come together
Okay.
and sit down. Let's hash what we've all found, what we've discovered together. I have a question. So the prosciutto is on the table. Can I use prestidigitate?
Prestidigitation.
Can I
It's a
use
tough one.
prestidigitation to create some sort of wispy illusion that makes it look like Chug is eating politely and not ripping the prosciutto to shreds?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
And you could be ripping it to shreds because nobody will know.
Okay.
Now's your time to really be yourself.
Yeah. Because I
Get in
was
there.
shaving it off, and the whole time I was thinking like this is too thin, and now I just want to eat it off.
Like a couple pieces that are like that.
Yeah. Hamburger slice prosciutto.
Man, I'm always so impressed by how elegantly you eat the prosciutto for a demon.
Thank you. Like,
Chug, get your hooves off the table. Okay. Chug, did you find anything?
Like inside the shop.
Yeah, the only thing I found was all different types of meats and prosciutto, but then I did find a locked case that just looked very mysterious. And I tried to get it open, but I didn't want to break it because I didn't want to alarm Mr. Salt. But I found a locked case that was kind of behind the bar. And it just, I didn't know if there was more meat in there. I had no idea what was in there. But it definitely looked special, old. It looked like something, that you would keep something precious in.
Did the lock look like it could be opened by a key that looks like a worm?
It didn't look like it could be opened by a worm. It looked like you could. Your options at this point, since you don't have the key to unlock it, would be to either attempt to pick the lock or attempt to break it open.
So I don't know about you guys. I'm leaning more towards bash this shit. But I wanted to consult you because, if we were working together, I didn't want to bash it open. Then I'll see he walks in and then we're all compromised. So what are you guys thinking?
What do you think, Shaqua? I mean, it's pretty quiet in here right now.
Well, I was just outside looking for holes, but there weren't any holes. And when I looked up, Mr. Salt was gone.
So Mr. Salt isn't here right now.
I don't even know.
And there's nothing around the perimeter?
I don't see anything. Maybe I'll investigate.
Just make sure that Sally bitch doesn't show up.
I rolled a 9 on the investigation.
With a 9, you do see Sally What's-Her-Face in the distance, but she's walking the other way, so you're in the clear on the Sally front.
Okay, thank God. We didn't want her to ruin this game.
With that 9, you see a couple footprints from Mr. Salt, and they're heading back in the direction of where you guys came from. The bar, the Drunken Frog, with the attached bakery, Mr. Butter's Bakery, for better or worse. You see that wherever he went in that direction.
Should we follow this trail, or should we smash this box before?
Interesting. I'm trying to think time-wise. Chug, how fast do you think you could smash this thing? Because we don't want to miss Mr. Salt. If he's left and we're seeing footprints.
Why don't we head on over to the frog and, maybe you give it a good old whack and see if you can get it on the walk.
Oh, yes.
So we're bringing it with us.
We're taking
Walk and talk situation. This is very efficient. That's efficient. I like where your head's at.
Jaqua is nothing but efficient. Okay.
Okay. So then is there a way? So let's try to bash this lock open.
Or carry it, yes?
Or just carry it?
Are we carrying it?
I'm trying to understand. Are we saying we're going to carry it, or are we saying that I'm going to bash it on the way?
Well,
Or we haven't decided on that yet?
I'm up for the walk and smash.
Yeah, I gotta say, leaving your store unattended with 3 hungry customers is a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
You're right, Jaqua. What an asshole. He knew that we were hungry. We literally came in with a 13-foot demon who had had 700 shots of mead the night before, and he's just gonna leave. He knows that he could make absolute massive money out of this one right here. So that's extremely suspicious.
very wealthy father.
You're his number one customer.
Yeah.
He's a decorated commander. He makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it then.
Okay.
Walk and smash?
Walk and smash.
So on your way, are you attempting to maybe throw it on the ground or with your...
I'm going to try and just rip it because
Awesome.
because if there is some sort of, maybe there's something valuable in it, I don't want to explode it.
Why don't you go ahead and roll me a athletics check?
Okay.
which for those of you at home, 18 is great.
Oh, 18.
Plus,
19.
plus your athletic score. Athletics is based on your strength, so that's
Yeah.
awesome. You're a big, strong guy. With a 19, you break it open, and before the lid comes off, you hear something inside of it, alive. And you hear something go. Well, what do you want to do? You know it's open. You can take.
I'm scared even as a demon, dude. I know the worst people ever.
You can take the lid off, but you do hear that.
Hold on a second.
I need to consult everyone. You guys all heard it?
It's a small box.
Yeah, small
it's
box.
A small
Okay.
little box.
Yeah,
It's not
okay.
like some huge box.
Okay.
But just because something's small doesn't mean that
It
it
can't
can't
mess you
either
up.
cause some serious damage or be so annoying on our journey.
Yes.
Especially if he's going to want to join us and want a cut of what the space cowboy is giving us. Is there any spell maybe we can cast? Lee?
Yeah, let me see. Well, it sounds like a mighty riled up critter you got in that box. Maybe I can speak with them. Hey, buddy, can you hear me? Do a little speak with animals.
Love that.
Oh, yes! You have that as a spell?
You have that?
Oh yeah.
Let's
Oh, that's
go.
sick.
Very sick.
Oh, honestly, that's the only reason that Jacqua can communicate with me as a crow.
Yeah, we got you as a crow and you as a goat. You're my kind of people.
Yeah.
The kind of people that aren't people.
When you cast Speak with Animals on this thing, the first thing that you get back is that whatever is inside this box is not a beast or a critter, is not technically an animal. You hear sort of an alien voice saying,
Give me a brain. Touch to the eyelid.
you don't necessarily even think it's talking to you. You just, now that you've cast that spell, you just hear these thoughts coming from within this box.
Man, this is some dark stuff.
Oh,
I spent the
shit.
last 10 years looking at the stars and I don't even know if this is of our universe.
Oh my god. I've always wanted to meet an alien. This is a little scary to me.
No, I think it's best we keep this in the box lest we open up some trouble.
Yeah. Are we able to keep the box with us?
Yeah.
Is Chug big enough?
Put
Is
it in my satchel.
Yeah, is your backpack big enough to carry this full armoire or whatever it is?
No, he said it's small.
It's
It's just
small.
like this
Yeah,
big.
small,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
also think on your guys' second page, some of the little minutia, it has all your stuff that's in your inventory, and I'm sure one of you has rope in your inventory. 50 feet of rope is generally given to certain players when you start the game in your adventuring pack.
I have the rope.
He's got the rope, so you could tie it to make sure that the lid does not come off.
Got it.
Now that it's been busted.
Okay. Yeah,
be all
I've
this stuff.
got 50 feet of
Oh,
rope.
got it.
Love
Okay.
that. So you guys are able to, you don't have to use the whole full 50 feet.
Yep,
You could
got
cut
it.
it up and just tie it almost present stylies.
Okay.
Make sure that the lid cannot come off and keep it with you.
Okay. I was going to say, the question is, I'm like, could we use the rope to tie up whatever in there? But I guess it's a little...
Yeah, so we don't know.
We should maybe seal up the box and
Okay.
gotta find Mr. Saul. I don't think anybody should be carrying around these critters.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
does Mr.
Hot
Salt have
critters.
that?
Why is this keeping this
this thing hostage? Okay.
So now we're going to see Mr. Salt.
We're walking
We're
to the
still
tavern.
walking?
Yeah, at this point you
We're
are
following the footsteps, right?
Yeah, you are outside. You've gotten to the Drunken Frog with the attached bakery, for better or worse. You are standing outside both.
Okay. So for Butter or Worth is closed though.
It is closed.
Should we?
So we saw his footsteps leading to there, but it is closed.
Actually, that's a interesting point of order. Why don't you guys each roll me either perception or investigation?
Okay.
Perception is a 0. Investigation is a 1.
My perception is a +3, so we should do.
Oh yeah.
So we'll roll our own.
Yeah, you
or-
guys can each roll.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna roll investigation because it's a +1 and perception is 0.
I rolled a 7 on perception.
Okay.
13 on perception.
That's good.
I rolled a 1.
A natural one?
Natural 1, and but I do have +1 on investigation, so it's a 2, a big doozy.
Ooh.
So a natural 1, you're looking down, and you're looking down and you're trying to follow the footprints, and then you see 2 pairs of feet, and you look up right into the face of Sally.
You were trying to avoid me? I see that you were trying to avoid me.
Sally,
Oh my God, I
honey.
love you.
Oh
Yes?
my God, Bess, what are you talking about, bitch? You know I love you so much.
Oh my God, that feels good to hear.
I don't know what, honey. Oh my, first of all, I love what you're wearing. You look so cute.
I honestly was trying to picture. I was like, "What were you wearing
I was-
yesterday?" And honestly, I tried to mimic it, and I
was gonna say it looks very familiar, but you know it looks better on you.
Well, you know what? I'm just trying to be number 2 in this town. That's all I got. That's all I can do. What can I say?
I think she has a deviated septum. Is there a bit of cold going around?
Well, I'll let you to it. But
Wait, Sally, can I ask you one more thing, sweetie, honey? And I'll make sure to stop by your place tomorrow. We can have a glass of mead together. But do you happen to have a lot of holes around your garden right now? I feel like I noticed, and I'm not trying to shame you, honey. Your garden looks gorgeous, but I feel like, was there a lot of holes?
there's been a couple. I think I'm gonna put up the chicken wire. I think I'm gonna follow in Mr. Butter's footprints and put up the chicken wire.
What do you mean? Follow Mr. Butter's footprints?
He was rodents were eating his plants. He put up chicken wire.
Oh,
I think I'm gonna do that too.
Did he happen to say if he knew if there were rodents, that they were rodents? He had seen them with his own eyes, or was that just okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a familiar rodent? Maybe a demon mole?
A demon mole. Jeez, Louise.
You see it, she's a demon mole. You see Sally, what's her face's eyes are darting at you, Chuck.
Demon mole. Oh, jeez. Well, anyway, it's been lovely to see you specifically, Crawford. And he didn't say.
Okay. Well, considering that we haven't seen Mr. Butters lately, and the last thing he did was put up that chicken wire, I think you should do that too.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it right now.
Sounds good. Bye, bitch.
Bye.
Love you,
bitch.
Love to see you walk away.
Oh, stop that.
You see a little bit after Sally, what's her face, gets about 15 feet away. You see a little skip happen. That was the best part of her day. You get the sense.
God, I hate that bitch.
With a
Can I
13,
be honest? I hate your friend's voice. I've been to hell and it's worse.
as that happened, Chuck, you see with a 13, you recognize Mr. Salt's footprints leading directly up to the door of For Butter or Worse.
I mean, the mystery's too great. We have to. I mean, should we split up? Should one of us go around the back? One of us go down the middle. So if someone comes running out the back, there'll be someone ready. Or
Yes, great idea. Okay, Jacques, do you think you should go to the... Wait, can you fit in?
yes,
Okay, it's a very high ceiling.
It's a pretty big establishment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that's more of a question for you, right? That would be more of a question for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's attached to the bar. You've
Got
been to
it.
the bar, so we've
Oh, yeah, we
established
all
you
know
can
that.
definitely get
Okay.
in there. Yeah.
Got
Okay. Jacques, would you go to the back, and while you're going around to the back, check to see if there are any of those holes anywhere?
Sure thing.
Yeah, you could roll me also. You could roll me perception or nature or investigation. I'll say dealer's choice.
Okay, cool.
As you head around the building.
Perception.
Cool.
10.
Oh, nice.
Rolling so low.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Wait, 10's good though, right?
10's good. 10,
Yeah, 10's better.
For something like this, you definitely see multiple. Yeah, and you a larger concentration of them around For Butter or Worse, less so than the Drunken Frog.
So wait, there's more around?
Yeah, there's a concentrated. There's definitely more of them around For Butter or Worse, and less around the Drunken Frog.
Okay.
That's where Mr. Butter is. Or he could be. Or he was.
I like how Jacques is basically like a Louisiana witch.
I heard an all right earlier. This is a Matthew McConaughey. You know what I mean? I love it.
Okay, so you're out back. Do you see anything out now that you're around the perimeters? Now that you're out back, is there anything out back in the for better or for worse?
Just the holes. Yeah, you just find the holes. There's actually not a back entrance to this place because it's connected with the Drunken Frog. You just see the front entrance, and then there's windows for sure.
Yeah.
And with a 10, you try and look through some of the windows, and it doesn't look like anybody's in there. No candles are lit. Lights are off.
Kind of dark. I think we should just go in.
Okay.
Suss it out.
Just go all in together.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. Mike, should we split up? But I should go into the tavern.
Or wait, do
I'm
you want to
really
go?
thirsty.
Do you want to follow the holes or not the holes?
As a hungry bird, I am tempted to follow the holes. Let's all go in.
Okay.
Let's all go in
Let's
together.
all go.
You guys go in, and you open the door, not locked, which is strange. We'll say when you were here earlier in the day, this door was locked. Now that you've seen Mr. Salt's footprints heading into this establishment, door unlocked. As you head inside for better or worse, you see that there was a cake being made not that long ago on the counter, and you see right next to it a list of ingredients.
Shit.
And the layout of this place is sort of, dining area for the customers, counter behind the counter workshop space, and then there is like a kitchen, sort of in the back, kitchen storage room. As you guys find this recipe, I'm not going to read you the amounts, but I'll just give you some stuff. Chopped pecans, brown sugar, granulated sugar, canola oil, eggs, unsweetened applesauce, vanilla extract, all-purpose flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, ground cinnamon, ground ginger, ground nutmeg, ground cloves, grated carrots.
Is it a carrot cake? Canola oil. Mm-mm. It is a shame to hear that Mr. Butters is using canola oil.
Very 90s.
Very disappointed.
He's taking a beating for me Googling.
I
For a
can't
cake
believe this. Maybe we should just let him be gone.
Too much canola.
Okay, interesting, those ingredients. Did anything stand out to you all in those ingredients? The carrots felt unusual, but it could be a carrot cake.
I mean, I'm just wondering. I mean, carrots are grown in the ground. Are there holes from pulling carrots out of the ground? But then I guess you'd have to be growing it in other people's property, which doesn't feel correct.
Oh, question. Is Mr. Butters getting his vegetables from his own garden that he had to fence in? So whatever is coming out, those rodents, is there something that's tampering with maybe the quality of what's happening with the carrots?
Okay.
Poisoned carrots.
I'm gonna go take a look at the old cake batter and see if there's any carrots in there.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Shaquille.
Do a perception.
Sure.
19.
Yes.
Yeah, with a 19, you definitely get the sense that he was making a carrot cake. That is what he was doing. In the batter, you're asking if there was carrots in the batter.
Yeah.
You actually, not only do you see carrots in the batter, as you're looking around this place, you open a drawer full of carrots.
Oh.
Top to bottom. Like a drawer that was labeled flour. You
Just
open it,
carrots.
full of carrots.
Just carrots.
I think Mr. Butters has a fetish.
Which you would also know this is more there's more carrot stuff going on here than his garden. You've seen his garden. It's nice, but it's not that big. Yeah.
So there's just an overwhelming amount of carrots.
So there's definitely some carrot theft going on or something like that.
Or his carrot provider is doing some dirty business.
His carrot dealer?
Now, his carrot dealer might be sketchy. My question is that so far from what I've been feeling is I'm like, well, Mr. Salt, I would imagine if there was a lot of meat hanging around here, I would then be way more sus of Mr. Salt, obviously, but carrots is not what I expected.
It's interesting to note as well as you start thinking about Mr. Salt, you did see his footprints go in here. You did not see his footprints come out of here. You know that there are only 3 rooms to this place. There's the dining room, which you've checked out. There's nobody in the dining room. There's the counter and all of the cake that's being made. There's nobody there. And there's the kitchen, which you've not looked at.
Oh,
because we're at the counter with the cake.
Okay, so we got to go in the
We
kitchen.
got to go check out the kitchen.
We got to go in the kitchen.
You go in the kitchen and we'll do something fun here. Everybody has a passive perception on your sheet. I think it should be in your maybe bottom left. Ask. Why don't you guys just tell me what that is?
Oh, I see passive. Oh, yeah, passive wisdom
Yeah.
perception.
15.
15's good.
13.
13's good.
Where is it? Oh, passive wisdom. Passive wisdom is passive perception. Is 10.
Cool. I'd say so when you walk in, no check necessary. You walk in, there is a cellar door that you notice on the ground in the kitchen, and there is a crate that has been moved over it. And with a passive perception of 15, you walk into this place and you don't see him in here, but you do clock this crate, and you do see the smear mark of a hasty, awkward move of a crate.
So that fucking Mr.
A
Salt.
little bit of a sewer cover vibe going on.
Is a
little bit of a
sewer
Ninja
rat.
Turtle going on.
You've seen a lot of this in the underworld.
So I'll
Michelangelo.
Okay, so obviously, friends, we have to go see we have to follow him. But he's making me a little nervous. I mean,
who knows what's down there?
who knows what's down there? Is there any way that we can maybe protect ourselves? Any sort of like invisibility, something that makes my tits bigger to distract me?
So in case he happens upon us, he's overwhelmed with lust.
Let's see here. I mean, we don't know what's down there. I do have charm person that I can use. So if he is down there and he is being sketchy, I could charm at least him. Does my charm person, does that work on just one individual, or could that work on a group of people?
It's generally just one individual.
Okay.
You can cast it twice.
Okay.
Per day, though, so you could, in theory, charm one person, and then when you were done with that, go and charm somebody else.
Okay.
Well, should we wait until we encounter something before you waste a charm like that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, this seems pretty sus.
Well, what if we send our little demonic critter friend down there, maybe crack that box a little bit and just see if there's someone down there. Maybe our little buddy will suss it out for us.
Chiqua, I love how creative you are.
You are so creative. I'm gonna say we crack. So, first of all, we gotta move the.
Well,
we gotta move it and throw them in, right?
We gotta do this quick. We're gonna have to do this quickly.
It's gonna be like
someone's gonna have to push down. Is it a big thing that's in front of the?
It's a big crate. You get the sense that Chug could probably move it.
Okay, so Chiqua, do we want to handle our little strange friend together? Like as Chug, you gotta like open it and then close it real quick.
Yeah, my thinking is, if we open up that crate to get all of us down there, that's going to make a lot of noise. But if we crack it just a little bit for our little friend, we can just pop him down there and see if we can freak him out.
I like this. All right. Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Chug, are you down to use your brute
now my only
strength?
question is,
you
though.
disgusting creature.
My only question though is that Mr. Salt. This is Mr. Salt's. So do we know if this is like a pet of his? You know, we don't. It's not a beast. We don't know what it is. But I'm saying, is he gonna be like, oh, what's up, Ashley? Or is it gonna be like?
That's true. But what happens though if he sees first? Okay, first
Naming
of
the
all,
demonic critter after your own dog.
it's a low blow.
How dare you,
It's a
man?
low blow.
You're not even here to defend herself.
It's a low blow. Okay, but here's the thing though. So best case scenario, he is a demon creature that goes down and scares the shit out of Mr. Salt and doesn't eat him, because we do have to question Mr. Salt.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but then also, let's just say he is his pet. That will startle Mr. Salt, because why is my pet that's locked? Also, what type of horrific person locks their pet in an some sort of,
So probably not a pet.
I don't think it's a pet. I think it's maybe there's two issues with this. Either one, he's terrified of it, he hates it, he locks it up, or he uses it.
Or we
for
unlock
things.
his powers, and that's not going to be very good.
That won't be good, but
Yeah,
then
that's
hopefully we
true.
roll high numbers. I say we just go for it.
Okay. Let's do it.
Feeling risky.
Do I need to roll something to push the thing?
No, you're able to push the
Okay.
thing with, you're not under any sort of time crunch. And then you see that you can open the latch that goes down into the cellar. And so you're going to open the latch and toss the creature out of the box down into it, then close the cellar door. Is that
what we want to do?
vibe?
Yeah.
And keep the ear down.
Yeah.
To the,
Yeah, because we
Yes.
need to be able to hear reactions.
Yeah, I feel like this is a very creative choice from Jacquot, and I feel like I'm really loving the spice of this. I say we just do it.
Well,
You in, Big Daddy?
Yes.
Okay.
as you do that, pretty easy to do. You open it and throw it. And, maybe you're expecting something with legs and arms and wings and a little demonic creature. But what comes out and is thrown under is something very familiar to you. You see a tiny, thick worm fly out of the box.
Flies out.
But no, like you toss
goes
him
through-
out.
okay.
Goes out. There's no arms or legs to this thing. It's a small. You see it is writhing, and on its front, where its face is, you see that there are a ringed set of teeth, maw of this that go all the way down. There's a tiny thing, but its entire face is sets of teeth that go in and further in. As you toss it, you close it, and you hear in the distance down underneath this as this thing, but you also hear it sort of like flopping on the steps.
Disgusting.
Like it can't necessarily move
Yeah,
well.
okay.
Sure.
At that same moment, you're remembering that you have one of these same things in your bag defrosting.
Oh no.
You see it is still currently frozen, but there are beads of water coming down it as this thing is beginning to defrost.
Should I just... No, we need to keep it for investigation. I was like, do I just pop it up and throw it down there too?
Two's better than one. I feel like you have to keep one.
I gotta
We let
keep it.
one go. We're like kind of. Oh, do we?
Wait, but I've never asked you guys. Wait, hold on a second. You see this? That's what just flew down there. Do either of you recognize this at all? I forgot to ask you. I was so carried away with the whole Mr. Salt leaving in the footsteps and the prosciutto and you being super gross. Do you guys recognize this at all?
I think you guys could both roll me history, nature, or arcana.
okay.
Whichever skill you...
What's Arcana?
Arcana is like magic, like things that are magical, like how well you can comprehend what's going on.
I'm going to start saying that all the time.
Yeah, I'll do Arcana check. They're
Cool.
all +3. Yes. 17.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
17 is good.
We're all rolling, right?
Or just you two, I think.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna do history because I got a +2 on that. Let's see.
Cool.
20.
These natural 18s over here. You're rolling the natty 18s a lot. You know that whatever this is from the far realm. The far realm, think of it as outer space. Whatever this thing is not native to this planet. You know that much. And you know by the look of it that it's a parasite. You remember hearing this thing's thoughts, and it said that it wanted to eat a brain, and it wanted to connect to your eye. You remember hearing that when you casted your Speak with Animals spell. So you know that this thing is a parasite, an alien sort of parasite that can enter your body through your eye socket and eat your brain.
Possibly control you.
I was just wondering that.
Possibly, like, basically become the captain of a human.
Yeah, very much Men in Black style.
Yeah,
Little
'cause
guy with the
if
little
it's connecting to your brain, if it eats your brain and then
I
connects
love
to
that
your
guy.
He's the cutest guy ever.
cutest, so
God, he's
cute.
so cute.
Felt
Right?
so bad for him.
God, when he passed, R.I.P. Okay, so Lee, if he spoke that to you about the brain, you're saying could control the thoughts. Do we think then that Mr. Salt he has these things? He has one in his his freezer,
He has
and he's
one in his
got one
freezer,
locked
yeah.
up. So he's got one on ice. This guy on ice, ready to do this. So I'm assuming he isn't under mind control. He's
Or-
keeping them.
Or he is under
and
mind
he's bringing his
control.
friends with him.
Yeah, and then there were a lot of holes around the butter, for worse.
The question is, well, they said that those were rodents.
No, they don't know,
Or
right?
maybe they were
We don't-
worms.
Yeah.
Were the holes the same size as the worms?
No.
No, the holes were bigger than those. Those little worms are like tiny little parasites,
yeah.
maybe as big as a finger, but fatter.
Oh, but they're in the ground though, and maybe the rodents are digging them up because they're trying to eat the worms, and maybe the rodents are getting mind controlled too.
And that's why it's just out of control. And maybe whatever is... But then all these carrots, right?
Yeah, what's the carrot tie?
That could have something to do with mind control that we're just not figuring out yet.
Maybe the worms eat carrots.
Or maybe whoever has the carrot farm in town has the king worm.
True.
Now, who is that, Mr.? Is there a Mr. Carrot in the midst?
There's no Mr. Carrot that you guys have know of in town.
Listen,
Do we want to reopen it
I was
Yeah,
going
we
to
should
say...
go
and
down
kind of
there.
see if we're hearing that this thing is unable to kind of move effectively, should we open this up and kind of go down there and kind of watch where it goes? Maybe if
I'm
it's following
curious
something?
because it might be following something. Mr. Salt might be
We
down
gotta
there.
find Mr. Salt.
Mr.
Yeah.
Butter. Mr. Butters might be down there.
He might be down there.
And I don't know,
Life's too short.
Life's too short.
says the
Because
700-year-old demon.
Believe me, life's too short, or you'll end up where I come from, and that
Yeah.
place is not cool.
All right. I say
Living
we
in
do it.
eternity in hell, coming to the material plane going,
Life's too short. It's too short. I've lived for 6 million years. Y'all got 80. It's too short for you.
All right, fam. I say we do it.
Okay.
All right.
So are we going to open it or are we going down?
Both. We're going
down.
down.
All right.
We're going in.
you open it and you do not see this little worm. You look down and you see the stairs go down and eventually turn a corner. Worm, not anywhere in visible sight. As you go down, you reach this first door, and there's a door with a mouth on it. And the mouth opens and says to you,
What was I making?
and you remember the ingredients from upstairs.
Cinnamon, sugar, carrots.
Nutmeg. Is he...
Canola oil. Canola. Interesting door.
Don't remember that part. Forget about the canola oil. It was I was testing you with that actually.
Wait, so do
Don't
we tell him
judge me.
Do we tell him the ingredients or do
I
we
think it's just a succulent carrot cake.
As you say carrot cake, it goes,
Yes, no canola oil.
the door opens and you are led down into a room, a circular room with another door on the far side. And in the middle of this circular room, you see a tiny, almost like a circular stage in the middle of the room. And then a door on the other side with no handle.
Circular stage.
Circular stage in a circular room and a door on the other side with no handle.
Okay, well,
But no handle. That means that maybe it's you can enter from the other, like from the other side of the door. So like
I mean-
it's a room you can enter in only
or
from.
there's a spell that opens it because we haven't seen the worm yet and we haven't seen Mr. Salt yet. So
Or I could beat it down if it comes to it because I'm
could
super strong.
I say you try to beat it down for sure, but also, My
Or I can do it-
prestidigitation can't reveal things, can it?
It can't reveal things, but you do notice you're used to using prestidigitation to make, yourself clean if you spill something or whatever. And you notice that this little platform in the middle of the area, super clean. No, not a speck of dust on this circular little stage in the middle of the room.
Do you guys want me to go in the middle, do a little dance?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I see a stripper pole in the middle of this.
Okay, so it's a little stage and it's super clean. Are we seeing anything else in the room? Is there anything else?
Yeah, you guys can roll. Anybody who wants to can roll a perception or investigation check.
I'll do a perception check.
Yes,
Cool.
please.
15.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, with a 15, you notice that this thing in the middle of the room is a pressure plate. And it's currently fully lifted.
What's a pressure plate?
Put chug on that shit.
Putting a weight on it, it would go down.
Got it.
And something
okay.
would happen.
Got it. Okay.
All right, Mr. Goat, why don't you all stand on
Put
this
those
platform?
sexy hooves
My moment.
Get on there.
I'm 17,000 pounds.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's get on.
So you step on this pressure plate, it sinks to the ground, and as it sinks, the door opens.
But if I step off,
You step off, the door will close.
I mean, either you stay on there and we go in alone, but I'm a little nervous because our big guy does give us a lot of strength. Do you still have your backpack with the box?
yes, but I don't know if it's heavy enough. I mean, you said the box was this big.
Yeah, you get the sense looking through your guys' inventories together that if the three of you put enough stuff on this.
I have a water skin that's 5 pounds.
Okay, you get a water skin, you've got an empty safe.
I have a bedroll. I have my rope, a tinder box.
Leather. I got some leather. I got carpenter's tools that are 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Should we start experimenting with just starting putting things on and see how heavy?
I think definitely with some of your materials that are 5 pounds, 6 pounds here, the box itself, which is probably close to 10 pounds, and a couple things from each of you, you put it on and the door does stay open.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Okay, listen, here's the thing, Chug. I know we're using mostly your materials, but, let's say worst case scenario, we're not able to get these back. Jaqua and I will share with you. Right, Jaqua?
Well, of course.
Promise. I believe anything you say.
We're not going to share with them. Well, with your permission, with your consent, Chug,
Yes.
we'll use your materials
Okay.
and a
And
few of ours.
I'll toss my rope on there. It's
Yeah.
10 pounds of rope.
You
yeah,
can,
definitely.
yeah, you can take my my 10-pound rope. No, you can take my. If you're going to use your rope, I'll keep my rope, and we can use my torch. That's 10 pounds.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like we're looking at like close to 50 pounds worth of stuff from
Yeah.
all of everything you've done. And it stays down with those materials and the door is open.
All right.
I gotta go in,
Let's go.
guys.
Okay. You enter in. And you enter into a room and you notice a couple things off the bat. The first thing that you notice is the tightest pair of butt cheeks. you see a 7-foot tall creature with his back to you, fully nude, covered in fur, 2 huge bunny ears on top of his head. And he's got something around his neck coming around the front. He's rolling something in front of him. And nude on the back, tiny, tight cheeks.
Tiny.
So he is like
Tiny, tight.
like a jacked
Lifted.
bunny,
7 foot tall.
massive jacked bunny.
You see a big ingredients list on the wall next to him. And the last ingredient on the list is butter, ... Mr. Butters. You see a creature sitting in the corner of the room, and you see only the light of a pipe in the corner of the room. Howdy, guys. You really shouldn't have followed me. You guys could have just let it be, but you couldn't let it go, could you? You couldn't let it go. And now guess what? We're gonna have to add 2 ingredients to the cake.
this Mr. He's from Pittsburgh.
It's Minnesota,
I
don't
was
you
gonna
know?
say,
Okay?
I'm like, listen, Chug, I know you're not from up above, but that sounds a little more like Fargo to me.
You see Bob Butter trapped in a cage in the corner of the room. As this creature turns around, you're seeing a humanoid bunny, 7 feet tall, kiss the chef apron on, a rolling pin in one hand.
Shit.
A satchel over that looks like what would hold grenades in wartime holds custard-filled cupcakes. But the face of this bunny is what strikes you. Where its normal mouth would be, you see these long tendrils coming down off of his face.
Oh. Ew, God.
And as he turns around and looks at you, the tendrils kind of go, and you see a little tiny circular mouth similar to the worm that you threw down here as the creature with the rolling pin in his hands. And Mr. Salt in the corner goes, well, I thought I told you guys. Go get him. And the bunny gets down and runs at you full speed. And we're going to enter our first initiative.
Oh no.
Our first ever combat. And so you have an initiative score
God.
at the top of your page. You'll roll a d20 and add that. And that will be what order the combat is.
Shit. Okay. So we roll the d20 plus. Okay. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna be like, bunny from the back, hot from the front, not.
Not.
Oh, and
Okay.
the bone dice is out.
Oh, the bone dice. Oh shit.
Natural 14.
Shit.
All right, 13 for me.
All right.
Natural 20.
Whoa!
So 22.
Chug.
22.
Welcome to hell, bitch.
Wait,
You're going back to Easter Sunday.
Hey, what did you roll?
I rolled not the Easter reference. From the demon. I rolled an 8 plus 2, a 10.
A 10, okay. So you will go last.
Okay, thank God, because I'm
this.
planning on using a lot of charm.
But Chug, you see this 7-foot tall bunny with like these tentacles coming off his face, going down, kiss the chef, apron as he runs towards you, Wang hitting the apron. Rolling pin up as
God, the nudity makes it so much more
Like, if it's
scary.
a fight of my life, and I looked at him like, why is that doing that?
he looks like he's about to come up and start trying to clonk you guys on the head with a rolling pin, and then that maw potentially use that if he should be able to knock you out. But fortunately, Chug, you get to go first. So your actions are right there at the bottom of your screen.
You mean the weapon attacks? Mm-hmm. I mean, I have, let's see, what's an unarmed strike? Just like my fists?
Punch.
Yeah.
Headbutt. Knee. Any one of those.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking, how does it work in regards, if I take the great sword, right, and I strike, is that, do we want to capture this thing, or do we want to, will one of my strikes at this level, is it a kill? Am I looking to kill this thing? Or do we want to capture it to figure out what's going on?
So that's the fun part about D&D is you don't know this thing's armor class.
Nothing.
You don't know this thing's hit points.
It's a mystery, huh?
There is something in Dungeons & Dragons where you can attack non-lethally,
Yeah.
which means you're not aiming to kill it. So if you were to
maim it, or
if you were to bring it to 0 hit points, you would knock it out.
Got it. That's once we're down that road.
My opinion to you, Chug, is that
I have
we're
great
not
sword, longbow, or unarmed strike.
we're not looking to I don't think, to capture this
We gotta talk to
tentacle.
Mr. Salt about that.
I don't like this 99 souls bunny. I'm just
Yeah.
picturing, by the way, like what's his
Oh,
face
yeah,
from
yeah,
Pirates
yeah,
of the
from
Caribbean.
Pirates.
Yeah. What is it?
Is it
Dave.
Davy Jones.
Davy Jones. Thank you.
Dave Anderson? Yeah.
Dave Anderson from
Yeah.
Pirates. I think because by the way, we also have those worms. If we need to
Yeah, that's
investigate
true.
those later,
So
I say
need
you
to
got to
just-
nuke this.
I'm gonna bust out the great
Yeah.
sword,
I love that.
Yes.
and we're just gonna go for it. So
Nice.
now I need to.
You'll roll a d20.
Okay.
You'll add that score. You're trying to beat a specific armor class that I have written down here. If you hit, it'll be 2d6 plus 1.
So roll this twice. You're
Just
saying?
once.
Just once. Okay. 4.
Plus
Is it +1? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
your here. Let me see. +3. A greatsword right there is just to hit.
Oh, just +3.
Yeah,
Okay.
hit is a
Got
+3
it,
for
okay.
greatsword, +6 for your longbow, and +3 for your honor.
Okay.
So with a 7, you swing at this guy. Penis. It's the thing. You look down. You look down for a half second while swinging.
Unnecessary.
And it's that momentary distraction that you swing, and as it catches you,
Yeah.
he ducks right under it. And it's his turn. And on his turn, he takes his rolling pin and attempts to club you over the head with it. Oh no. What's your armor class? Top of your sheet, top middle.
13.
That is a 10. He misses. He swings, goes to hit you, and you bring your greatsword up. Parry. You see in his swing, no non-lethal on his side. He's going for the kill.
Oh my god. It's the death
Jacqua,
bunny.
you're up.
Jacqua.
All right, I run up to Chug to flank the beast.
Nice.
Yes. Come on,
And I'm gonna
Jacqua.
swing the shillelagh.
Okay.
I get advantage on that, right?
Yeah,
For
if you flank in combat, if you get one on kind of each side of the creature flanking, you can have advantage on your attack roll.
Which means you roll twice.
Which means you roll twice and you take the higher. That's what
I
advantage
did take
is.
note of that from watching
Yes.
this stuff.
And then disadvantage would be the opposite of that. You roll 2 and take the lower.
I'm gonna send this guy back to Sunday. That is 20. Not 20, but 20 to hit.
Yeah.
Dirty 20 definitely
yes.
hits. Go ahead and roll damage on this guy.
All right, we got
Your magical shillelagh turning
Dude, Chug, you're 13 feet, and Jacqua, my elf druid king, comes in.
I panicked.
Ooh, that's gonna be 10 damage.
10 damage. Wow. Okay.
Yes, Jacqua.
You do 10 damage to this thing, and that hurts. This thing is not built of stone. This thing is not wearing heavy armor. This thing is a mutation. You're starting to put some of the pieces together. The holes outside, rabbits, the parasites, infecting brains, growing these anomalies out of regular critters. As you hit it, you deal a significant amount of damage, and Caw, it is your turn.
Okay. Now, as much as I want to use prestidigitation to create some sort of mist pants for him to cover up his penis, I will. Okay, with Firebolt,
Yes.
it says that the range is 120 feet.
Oh, yeah.
Will I then inflict damage on Mr. Salt as well?
It's actually so you can hit one person up to 120 feet.
Okay.
So you aim it at somebody, you cast your spell, the firebolt hits that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Witch Bolt.
Is a stronger spell that technically, if you hit it, you'll be concentrating on it, and every turn, if you hit, you can do the same damage again, because the Witch Bolt connects you and the target.
Should I Witch Bolt?
Yeah.
I'm gonna Witch Bolt.
I love that.
Okay.
So let me see that. I believe that'll be a roll plus. You'll be rolling +5. And then if you hit, I believe it's a D12, which will be an interesting one. I'll have to show you that one.
Okay.
But why don't you go ahead and roll and give me a +5?
Okay, come on. 18.
18 definitely hits. I love that.
Yes.
So yeah, you roll
18
one.
plus 5, by the way.
Oh wow, 23 even
Yes.
more so hits. So yeah, you do 1d12 lightning damage as this witch bolt comes out of you, hits him, and then stays there in between the two of you. Coming from your body, connecting to his. And so a d12 will be one of your dice on there that is 12-sided.
Perfect. Okay.
And now that you have it connected, every turn, you can just do the damage. You don't even need to roll again.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. You're just technically, you're concentrating on this spell. So if you get hit, you'll have to roll to maintain your concentration.
Okay. So then I roll this to see how much damage it's
Yeah.
going to be.
And it's lightning damage.
Okay.
Which is awesome.
Six.
6 is
Wait,
great.
wait.
Oh,
Wait, is that 9 or 6?
that's a 9.
Yes!
9 points of damage.
You're always so humble.
Thank you, Chuck.
This thing gets hit with a quarterstaff turned into a magical shillelagh from the druid. A lightning bolt comes out of you into it, and Chug, it is your turn.
I have a +6 on the longbow. Should we try to put this thing out? Should we go all in on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get that longbow, King.
Yeah. So technically with ranged weapons, since you're in melee
Oh yeah,
with
is
it,
this not?
you would have disadvantage, but because you're flanking,
Yeah.
you would have advantage, so it would just be a straight roll.
Okay,
A straight roll +6 to hit with
got
your
it.
longbow.
Okay.
Okay. All right, Chug.
In the D20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
You'll add 6.
10. So 16.
Okay.
16
that's-
hits. Its
yes.
armor class is 14.
Oh.
And so next to your longbow, it'll have what dice you should roll and what you'll add to it.
1d8 +2.
1d8 plus 2. So find the d8, which is the one next to the d6, and you'll add 2.
Okay. 7.
For 7 points of damage. This thing is on death's door. You guys are coming at this thing from all different angles. Lightning, shillelagh, a bow right in its face, skewered through one of the tentacles, pushing it back, showing that toothy maw. It gets to go, and it's going to take 2 of these custard cupcakes, and it's going to attempt to shove one in your mouth and shove one in your mouth.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Murder cupcakes.
Not canola oil. I'm eating clean.
Ooh, that's actually a 24 to hit
Oh,
you.
Okay,
no.
that hits.
Okay, so
Shit.
a 24. Let me just get this D4 real quick.
No. Jaqua. Oh, no.
Jaqua, you take 7 points of custard damage as he shoves this custard-filled cupcake in your mouth.
Oh, no.
Oh, I knew the seed oils weren't good.
I'm lactose.
Which at this level, for those of you listening at home, these damage amounts are quite a lot. A 7 is very high.
Yeah.
Because Jaqua, what are your max hit points?
10.
10. So Jaqua's at 3 hit points. Chug, that is a 2. He can't get a hold on you. He goes to shove it in your mouth. You're too tall. He shoves it right in your chest.
It's belly button.
Custard all over your demon tits.
And I go over and just
I knew we had a connection.
Jaqua, this thing is on death's door.
Come on, Jaqua.
One more shillelagh.
One more shillelagh.
Come on, shillelagh.
21.
Oh, yes.
21 hits. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
Come on, Jaqua.
7 damage.
7 damage. As you take this thing down, why don't you describe to me how you kill this bunny
Yes.
mind flayer?
Okay. I got the staff. Gonna shove it into the demon mouth, the worm mouth, right through the brain.
Oh, yeah. As you do, you see it comes out of the brain, and at the end of your shillelagh, right on the end of it, is a tiny little worm that was inside that brain, controlling
Oh, no.
this bunny.
Oh, no. So it wasn't the bunny.
As he falls down, you hear behind you all as Mr. Butter in the cage starts to cheer, and he goes, "Yes! Huzzah! Indeed, my liege! Kill him!" You all hear behind you, "Well, well, well, my little detectives." And you turn around to see the space cowboy, Maurice.
Maurice.
And he goes, "Well, well, well, you've done it." "Mr. Salt, I believe these are for you." And he takes out a pair of handcuffs.
Yes. Yes.
And he goes, "Well, it seems these little buggers have been infecting the population. Well, my team, Chug, Ka, Jaqua, let's end this once and for all." He goes over, puts the cuffs on Mr. Salt, lets Mr. Butter out of the cage, hands you each your 5 gold. You come out of the bakery to thunderous applause
Yes.
all around town.
Thank you. I know they're nice.
Yes, you do see Sally, what's her face, looking directly at your act, just going, should be nice. I don't like doing that.
Hi, honey.
I wish it was me.
Come by later.
You are heralded, and your adventure is just beginning. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, guys.
That was insane.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
I'm so happy right now. Oh my gosh. That was amazing. I cannot wait. I feel
What a
like
blast.
the beginning of our adventures, you guys, we might become quite the trio. I feel it.
I
That was
loved
fun.
you giving me Mr. Salt. What a gift. I loved
That
that.
was incredible. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Jess,
Thank you.
I
Thank
mean,
you
I'll be
so
honest
much.
with you. Like,
Thank you.
I feel like Jess has been lying to all of us, being like, I haven't never played before. That felt like she's been playing for 10 years.
Just for sorry, I'm not on mic. Just for reference here as well, for what the parasite looked like. It looked like this.
What?
This little guy.
You had it here the whole time.
I had it here right in front of you the whole
Sneaky,
time.
Sneaky guy. Oh, that's so gross.
Creepy.
And the creature you fought, it was a bunny version of a mind flayer. A very popular D&D villain.
Oh
My God, with the tight cheeks.
Yes. The tight cheeks was my own personal
Yeah,
little
I was gonna say. I feel like that's a little bit of a
That was the
Brian.
cake he was baking.
Yeah, the penis
That was the
slapping. Oh my God, there's 3.
The ultimate disrespect to get the guy who makes cakes for a living and you yourself have no cake. Is the ultimate disrespect.
Oh my God, Brian,
Wow.
you are amazing.
Thank you so much.
so much.
Thank you.
Prepare to be bothered by me 24/7 to be like, so can you DM
Honestly, feel
again?
free. That was great. You guys were also great. Like the door asking what kind of cake it was. Like you guys got that immediately when I read the ingredients.
Right.
You guys were like carrot cake, and I was like, okay, cool. That first little puzzle I put in your way.
You guys, it's kind of like an escape room that lasts
I was
for
about to say it's the escape room genius.
Yeah.
It's a mental escape
I found
room.
an escape room that I can do for free.
Yeah.
I don't have to do by myself.
And I love that too because I also you
Wow.
guys did awesome. I didn't tone anything down for the villain. I didn't pull any punches. You know, you had if I had rolled a natural 6
yeah.
on this dice, I
Yeah,
would
I'd
have
be
put you to
dead.
0 hit points.
Oh my gosh, and then we would have had to heal you.
Death
Lee.
by
We would have.
Everything climaxed perfectly.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. Yeah, you guys did great.
Thank you so
Wow.
much, Brian.
Of course.
Family, let us know if you enjoyed this and you want to see the continued adventures of Jiqua, Ka, and Chug.
Yeah, we gotta get a group. Regardless, even if this was just a one-time thing with this group, this group has gotta have a name. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They have names? Like groups have names?
Yeah, you get a group name going.
YouTube comments.
Oh.
Blow us up.
yeah.
Give us some group
guys
name
create some names.
ideas.
The baker's dozen. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing stuff
Caked
out there.
up.
Who knows? Caked up.
up.
Exactly. Yeah. Caked up featuring.
Yeah.
But Brian, before we let go
Yeah,
ahead.
no, go ahead. You're about to do it.
Before we let you go, do you want to plug anything, King?
Ooh.
Use that plug.
An incredible artist, singer,
you.
songwriter, by the
Unbelievable.
way. so-
Amazing.
Thank
Truly.
you. I do a ton of stuff. My name is Bryan Sammis. There's a bunch of stuff online. My main sort of solo thing is Oliver the Kid.
Yes.
Yeah. So that if you look up that's sort of I've been doing that for over a decade now. But I do a ton of stuff. And yeah.
We'll throw some links.
We'll put the links. It's in the episode
He's
notes.
incredible.
Check out the music. It's unbelievable. Thank you, Brian.
Of
Remember
course.
at Internet Ceramics to follow our King Lee and
y'all
his
too
gorgeous
kind, too
work.
kind.
We love you, family. We'll
We
see
love
you
you
on
all.
Wednesday to
Mwah.
talk The Bachelor, and maybe we'll do a D&D Bachelor version someday. Who knows?
That's
We'll
actually
see.
a great idea.
I am Chris Harrison.
She gets out of the limo.
Just a thought. All right, we love you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.